arose, arose. Now, if you heard arose after I did the action, then you're beginning to understand a conditioned response or an anchor. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the concept of anchors, how you can use them to improve your performance, and how they're used to influence your behavior. Ahoy, Peter here from Brighter Training, where we aim to improve your personal and business performance by sharing new tools, models and psychology to help you achieve your goals and outcomes. If you haven't already, please remember to hit like and subscribe, helps us know we're on the right track and makes us dance like teenagers. Welcome back as well to our current subscribers. We're always grateful for your support and for sharing our videos. This is the 6th video in our Introduction to NLP series, where I'll be introducing a core element of NLP, which is called anchoring. So what is it? It's effectively a stimulus response. It's a conditioned response to an event. Based on the work of psychologist Ivan Pavlov, the story goes that when he fed dogs, they salivated, so he started to ring a bell, although it could have been a tuning fork or a metronome or an electric buzzer, before feeding the dogs. And over time, the dogs associated the sound with receiving food, and eventually just hearing the sound was enough to trigger that salivation response. Just like the dogs, your life has probably been affected by anchors, even though you may not have set them up intentionally. Have you ever put a rubber band around your wrist and snapped it each time you attempted to do something wrong? Say you don't want to swear anymore. Each time you swear, you snap the rubber band. The idea is that you begin to associate swearing with the pain of the rubber band snap, which makes you not want to swear. So you swear, you feel the pain, you swear, you feel the pain. This is anchoring. Oh! So when else might you have experienced it? In marketing, if I say cola, what brand do you think of? What if I say just do it? What brand do you think of now? What about when you see this logo? What do you think of? So they're all examples of anchoring. How about in sales? A salesperson may get you to imagine using the product or service, or get you to hold an item as they deliver their pitch. They'll attempt to anchor and trigger a conditioned response. Or if you're online shopping and it says, only one available, how does that make you respond? And of course, there's interpersonal and professional settings. If you're asked to do a presentation, do you have a specific response to that? If you see a certain person coming towards you, do you also have a specific response? Now, anchors can be positive or negative. Seeing the dog leash hanging up triggers you to take the dog for a walk. Maybe the sound of a particular song takes you back to a certain time in your life, or the sound of a dog barking may instantly make you angry or irritable. So you get the idea. Now, anchors can be set to a sound, an image, or kinesthetically, such as a particular touch or gesture. In NLP, they're used in a few different ways. Firstly, to save an experience to a particular action and to intentionally feel resourceful when you choose to. For example, conditioning someone to feel relaxed or confident when they touch their hand in a certain way. The idea is that you can trigger the feelings that you have in one situation at a time when you don't usually feel it. Perhaps you're confident playing a musical instrument or playing a computer game, but not so confident when it comes to doing a sales call or a presentation. So you would anchor the confidence in one situation to trigger it in another. So try this experiment with NLP anchoring. As always, the idea with NLP is to believe nothing and test everything. And you can't really form an opinion without trying it for yourself. So let's do a quick 5-step exercise. Number 1, determine how you want to feel. So say you want to feel more confident. Number 2, remember a time when you felt really confident, and it can be any memory where you were feeling confident under any circumstances. So just relax, let a memory come to mind in which you felt, just naturally confident or felt really good about yourself. Now, number 3, choose an anchor device that involves a touch, so such as touching your thumb and your forefinger together or making a fist. Ideally, it should be a pretty unique anchor that you don't do all the time. Number 4, remember what you saw, heard, and felt in your confident memory. You really have to put yourself inside that memory as if you are reliving it. So don't view the memory from a distance. The feelings just don't come back as strongly. So you've really got to be there, hold yourself as you did in that memory and really feel it. And then number 5, relive the memory until you begin to feel that confidence coming over you in the same way that you felt at the same time. As you feel that confidence coming on, activate your anchoring device from step 3. So for example, touch your thumb and forefinger together as that confident feeling increases and release your thumb and forefinger when it begins to subside. And if you've done it well, there's no underlying reason why you shouldn't feel more confident and the anchor then becomes set. So to test the anchor, touch your thumb and your forefinger together in exactly the same way again. Find out if you naturally access that confident state. Now, of course, if you're determined not to let it work, then it won't. It's your mind after all. If it did work though, you now have an NLP anchor. So from here on out, you get to feel confident whenever you touch your thumb and your forefinger together. And even if it just triggers the memory of why you set the anchor, it can be a really useful tool, which I think is pretty cool. So in NLP, anchors can be stacked over time to make them more powerful. So for example, every time you feel confident in the future, you can trigger that anchor and save it for later. Existing negative anchors can also be collapsed, which is where you trigger a positive response at the same time as a negative one in order to reduce the charge of the negative response. It's a useful technique if you have developed mild anchored responses over time that trigger a negative emotion or response. And of course, it doesn't always work. NLP anchoring won't work under certain circumstances. Your confidence may fail you in a situation which intense fear or dread is stronger than the anchor that you've set. So does that mean the technique's rubbish? No, doesn't mean that. Just means that anchoring may not be a cure-all for you. Part of using a good tool like NLP anchoring is understanding its limitations. You need to use the right tools to tackle the right situation. You wouldn't use a hand tool to remove a tree stump. So NLP anchoring is no different. It'll work under the right circumstances. In other circumstances, you may need to add additional tools or do some other work. So that's it. I hope it gives you a starting point to help you explore NLP and anchoring in more detail. Now, this is part of a larger live training course that we run. So if you're looking for training for yourself or for your team at work, please reach out to us at any time. Our contact details can be found on our website, which is listed in the description below. If you'd like to see a demonstration of anchoring or any other topic for our future videos, please also leave a comment or let us know. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching.